Hey there, it's Susan Peirce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. It is, in America, the day before a holiday that is a national holiday, and it's called Thanksgiving. And for this vlog, whether you're American or not, whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, whether the holiday season in general has any meaning for you or not, I want to talk about a topic that in my opinion is equally relevant across the board, regardless of the day, regardless of the month, regardless of your belief structures around any of that. And it's the joint topic of thanks and giving, meaning gratitude and service. Because in my opinion, and I'm not the only one who thinks this, the people who have gone before me and before them and before them and before them in this amazing journey called recovery from addiction, in my opinion, the most important and helpful and useful and foundational perspective for a contented, fabulous, long-term life of recovery from any addiction is the attitude of gratitude and service. Gratitude and service. And it's so interesting to me that this word, Thanksgiving, is the conjoined pieces of gratitude, thanks, giving thanks, and giving, service. Giving to others, giving of ourselves, getting out of ourselves. And what I think about this in the midst of this unprecedented time is that gratitude and service, thanks and giving, are not just useful ideas on a holiday like Thanksgiving, but they're useful in beginning a Bright Line Eating journey, in setting up a Bright Line Eating journey, in continuing a Bright Line Eating journey, on the day of a holiday or special occasion, whatever it might be, to help us get through the day. Not just bright, but with a heart bursting with peace and gratitude, no longing for any foods that we didn't eat, that we didn't partake of. And it's a conjoined attitude, thanks and giving, that is helpful whether we're thriving in the moment, whether it's kind of a boring, blasé day and we're neither here nor there, or whether we're profoundly struggling. So I just want to share a couple of examples of how gratitude and service can matter to you on your Bright Line Eating journey today and every day. During any holiday or special occasion, or a time when other people are eating things that you're not eating, or a time when you're eating things you wish you weren't eating because they're eating them and now you're eating them too, because we have a lot of compassion for that state as well here in Bright Line Eating. And a lot of us who are under this Bright Line Eating umbrella have had those days as well. Thinking of what we're grateful for, research shows, raises our willpower bar. It replenishes willpower, meaning temptations don't tug on us as hard when we turn our mind toward gratitude. If we're not really tempted by anything, and we choose to turn our mind to gratitude, that moment is immediately elevated and better. Just better, right? You can search my vlogs, past Bright Line Eating vlogs, with the word gratitude and listen again if you want reminders of all the different ways to practice gratitude, micro gratitudes, macro gratitudes. There's nothing too small or too big to count. But what I find is if I am struggling in any way, I guarantee I'm forgetting about gratitude. For sure. Because I am too blessed to be stressed. I am too blessed to be on a pity party, to be having a pity party, on a pity pot, having a pity party, all of the above, any of the above. And really, we all are. I have moments where I ask for gratitudes, wins, and celebrations on Brightline Eating calls, and no hands go up. And I school people on the call. I'm like, come on, nobody's got anything to be grateful for? Check yourself right now. Check yourself. I don't know if I've shared this story with you before, but when I was a little girl on the Mesa in Hotchkiss, Colorado, Sheila Torkelson had this book, and it was a kid's book about this little girl from a very, very, very poor family. And she asked one of her parents one day, "Are we rich?" I think it was her daddy. I think she asked her daddy, "Daddy, are we rich?" And he said, "Of course we are, Pumpkin. Super rich." And she said, "Oh, really? What does that mean? Tell me, how are we rich?" And he said, "Well, look at this arm you've got. Look at this arm. What if I were going to cut it off? How much would you pay me to have it back?" And she said, $1 million. I need it back. He said, "Exactly. So there's $1 million right there. Look at this leg. What if you didn't have it? How much would you pay to get it back?" And she said, "Oh, $1 million. And he said, "Exactly. There's another $1 million right there." And they went all through their house, all down her body, all through their house. And they found millions and millions of dollars just sitting there. And she said, "Oh, you're right. We are rich." It's a precious children's story. Just so epic. Thanksgiving. What about the giving part of Thanksgiving? I think you know I come from a 12-step background, right? I've been clean and sober now for 26 years. Working a program all that time, very devoted to the 12 steps as a way of life. And after a little while, when this Brightline Eating movement had exploded and I was hiring people, doing something I'd never done before, which was this whole business thing, like hiring and trying to figure out how to be a CEO, and so discombobulating. One by one, I let go of my sponsees. And sometimes they let go of me because I just wasn't available enough for them. They needed someone more available. Sometimes someone would leave the program and I just wouldn't replace them. And eventually I had one last sponsee who was hanging on, and eventually she let me go because I just wasn't available enough. And I rationalized that I was doing service here with you, and I was serving on a more global scale now. I was still serving. I was giving of myself. And I felt like, honestly, some days I was giving more than I had to give. I felt like I was giving enough. I felt like I was doing enough. Everyone around me co-signed that. "Oh yeah, you don't need a sponsor. Look at how much you're giving." And what I found was my lines weren't bright anymore. I broke my bright lines in July of 2015, and then I struggled to get them back consistently. Like, I got them back, but then I'd break them again and get them back and break them again. And that went on for like whatever it was, 3 years and 3 months or some such. And I was less happy, less well. Until the point where winter of 2020, January, February 2020, I had my first bout of depression in 17 years. And I shot a vlog about that on mental health. You can Google that on our vlog website if you want to watch that vlog about it. But I had one day where I thought about dying all day. I thought about death. I thought about the concept of death. I wouldn't ever commit suicide. I got little kids. But I thought about it all day. And I happened to talk to a friend of mine in Australia who said, "Are you sponsoring? How's your sponsoring going?" Someone I'd known in the program when I lived in Australia. I picked up sponsees again. 3 sponsees. And the one-on-one giving, showing up to just do service, to listen to how they're doing, to help guide them on their journey, made all the difference in the world. It just lifted me right out of myself. Here's what I know about giving. When we give, it restores us to a rightness of perspective. When I give, it restores me to a rightness of perspective that I can't seem to manufacture or get any other way than one-on-one targeted giving. And at any holiday or special occasion, you can keep in mind these twin pillars, thanks and giving, gratitude and service, and take them with you as your tools, as your friends. Put them in your pockets and walk through that occasion, remembering those 2 things. And at any moment of disquiet or longing for food or feeling lonely or out of place or conflict or fill in the blank, pull out the thanks and the giving, the gratitude and service, and use them as tools. And you know what? Same if you're alone, physically not with anyone. Gratitude and service. There is a way to be of service sitting alone in your bedroom, I promise. I promise. It might take a little bit more creativity, but there is a way. And the gratitude might be easier to practice if you're by yourself. So, on this most unusual and different of days before Thanksgiving, certainly in my 46 years on this planet, by far the most unusual and different day before Thanksgiving, I offer you 2 tools, thanks and giving. I love you. That's the weekly vlog. I'll see you next week.